What is going on, YouTube? Pass the Prop is back here. We're coming at you guys on another MLB slate Friday. Full slate of action, obviously 12 late games. We got a couple early ones as well. But not starting for another 5 or 6 hours. Kind of nice. We don't have to worry about speeding up for you guys. But join us always by my guy. Stu, what's good, man?
Yeah, nothing much. Been a little bit of a busy week so far to me, but I was looking at the slate a little bit earlier, and man, we got an awesome slate today. Like you said, we got a little time to relax, to sink our teeth into it, not in a rush today. But yeah, a bunch of amazing games on tonight's slate. A lot of high intensity matchups, some rivalry spots in there, some big names facing each other. Definitely excited to make some money tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you got some big time names, right? You got Framber, you got Cole, you got some big boys out there. Strider, obviously. Hopefully he comes through today and helps us out with that 3.5 to 1 ticket on that Cy Young spot. Hopefully Garrett Cole gets destroyed into oblivion and we can get some Luis Castillo love coming in here. Let's go Rays, baby. So excited for those matchups.
Yeah, no, that's one of those where I don't know if this might be a real good Cole outing. I feel like right here. We'll see what happens. Obviously that, I love the ace versus ace matchups though, so that'll be a great game right there. But yeah, I'm more interested in that Strider late night one. That'll be the gem in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, the Rays have done pretty good against Cole in terms of scoring runs, but obviously very high strikeout team, high variance team. In Tampa, obviously a better hitters park too as well. So we'll see how it goes. But let's take a look at how we did last show. Unfortunately, Galoff, I was one day off. The one time I took him, guess what? I took him again last night. Hit a fucking dinger, so it doesn't matter. So this dude just continues to make me money. I'm really pissed it just didn't happen on the show because the dude's an absolute fucking wagon and it just continues to make me money. Alcantara got there, didn't even throw well and got there, which was awesome. So I ended up going plus 0.1 of mine. I believe this one was easy.
Yeah, this one was the easy cash right here. Ozuna went yard maybe twice that game. And then, the lane train was the one that let us down right here. So you were plus 0.1. I was minus 0.1 right here. A little even out.
Hey, I continue to fade those Nationals, baby, besides C.J. Abrams. My gosh, bro, it's tough. It's a tough life we're living. I swear, dude, I thought they were going to blow it last night again. I thought I was just watching it, and I'm like, dude, they're going to do this, aren't they? They're going to do this. And 4 hits to Giancarlo Stanton, dude. I have in fantasy. This boy hasn't had a multi-hit game this year, bro. That's 4 hits and a nuke. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Just wild. Again, TJ just continues to make me money. The guy is just an absolute stud. Back-to-back home run games now. Like, what's he trying to push for 20 and 40 maybe? We see something crazy like that.
No, that was awesome. Hey, you mentioned that Nats game yesterday. It was a close one, but that was a fire victory right there. A nice Alex Call go-ahead homer, then back-to-back C.J. Abrams second day in a row. That was a good game if you're a Nats fan right there. And I only tuned in for the 7th, 8th, and 9th, so I missed all of us looking terrible for the first 7 innings of the game. Got the win for us last night. That was huge.
Oh, my God, dude. It just gives you a heart attack every time he throws late in these games. 8th, 9th inning, it's almost like you should just live bet the Nationals. Like even if they're like up 3, just bet the other team plus 2.5 because it always gets to 1 run. I swear to God, every time I look, it's anytime they win, it's a 1-run game. So I might as well they're up 3 in the 8th, live bet plus 2.5 at probably plus money because my God, dude, they just find a way to make you sweat. If you bet on them, you have to sweat or it's just not an actual Nationals.
Yeah. Well, before we move on from that, I'll just say, the problem is there's 3 guys that can beat you in almost every lineup. The Nationals are really good at letting those guys beat you. Every other team seems to avoid those guys and, pitch to the shitty players. And, that you win some, you lose some. The Nats, love pitching to star players. And that's how you get an Aaron Judge 3 home run game. Why are we throwing this guy anything remotely in the strike zone after the first home run, especially with the rest of that Yankees order? I would just never pitch to Judge. I would just never do it, especially with how Stanton was going to start that series. That's an ugly lineup right now. So, yeah, those are my 2 cents from a Nats fan right there.
Yeah, I played Judge this week in fantasy, absolutely destroying me. But shout out to the Nationals pitching staff for sucking so bad that they have Giancarlo Stanton over 700 on base this fucking time. Dude, this guy hasn't been over 300 in any week. He's had 700, 2 homers, like 6 RBIs. I'm like, thank you, because like Judge was really killing me. But right now my team has like 16 homers in 4 days. So Galoff, CJ Abrams, power hitter. Adam Duvall's the best player in the MLB right now. We're going to talk about my other guy. I'm going to keep him on the down low. Not going to talk about him, but he's on my team. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Repping for the Orioles out there, dude. He's raking too. Like, my team is turning on when we need it. We need that pitching staff to turn up. So let's get into today's slate. I know you kind of mentioned it. What if you could reiterate what your favorite game of the day would be for today?
Yeah, it's got to be Webb versus Strider. I mean, obviously a lot of great games. I'm going to be locked into tonight's slate. You know, we're pulling up a couple screens today for sure, but that's the big screen game for me. That's ace versus ace.
Yeah, and I think I kind of have to do the Yankees just because I want Garrett Cole to get lit up so badly.
Yeah.
So for my pocket, yes, I really want to watch that game. For my eyes and like actually wanting to watch, I want to see what's up with Lance Lynn, bro. I don't think it's true, bro. Like, watching the teams that he's played, there has been no significant lefty power. There's been no significant good lefties, right? You're playing all lefties today, bro. Like, you're playing Yoshida. You're playing a hot team. And even the righties in this lineup are Adam Duvall, who's batting 700 this week. You have this team coming off of a huge win, right? Just destroying the Astros and putting on a clinic in that series, going 3-1, right? I want to see if this is for real. And I know everybody's like, yeah, he's come over the Dodgers and just destroyed. But, okay, Brewers, okay, Rockies, like, come on. Give me a fully loaded lefty lineup, Devers, Verdugo, Yoshida, all these guys. Casas has been hot, right? This whole lineup is just absolutely loaded with lefty power. And I want to see what happens because I don't think it just flips overnight. You get a lot of good outings against teams with no lefty power, and now you're getting like 5 or 6. So I really want to see it. 10.5 total. I kind of think that's showing you, bro. It's showing you. They're going to see some pop today, and Cutter Crawford might get lit up, but I think Lance Lynn gets lit up too. So I think this is going to be a fun one to watch.
I love that point. That's a great point right there. What have we been doing all year with Lance Lynn, right? It's like you said, the fade against lefties trade, and we've done that all season long. I didn't think about that much. I looked at that game. I was like, oh, Lynn, got a couple good spots right there. But that's actually a great point. I'm very curious to see. I mean, I'm thinking it might be a cost us 2 home run kind of game. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, this is the worst lineup to suck against lefties. Like, this is that lineup, right? There's not many other teams that are just rolling out that many lefties, but they're just such a split platoon team that it works, right? It just works that you're going to bring out 5 lefties who have the power, take you deep, and I think it's going to be fun. That might be a sprinkle home run game where you just SGP the fuck out of it, play like 4 homers, because Lance Lynn has that ability, and they're going to give you some big boy prices there. Alrighty. Dog of the day, Stu. You got one today, or are you still up in the air?
For me, it's interesting because I don't like some of the usual guys. My Nats suck against the Marlins. Absolutely not right there. Athletics pass.
I'm nervous on if you're taking the team that I'm like really fading hard today. So I want to see who you take.
Well, this might be bad news. I like the Reds as my dog today. Okay, because Hunter Green got absolutely destroyed in his last outing. Like, shelled. Like, why is he still in this game shelled? And I think people are going to overreact to that a little bit. That's obviously what's on the mind when you think of it. At the end of the day, if there's any team that, even if he does kind of suck, that I trust to beat you in a track race, right, to beat you, just outscore you, it's the Reds. And this game was, a lot different odds yesterday. I think that's not really warranted. I think Green might be getting a little disrespected right here. I think the Reds are a pretty live dog, even if it's just an offensive showing rather than, a good pitcher's battle.
Yeah, Brendan Pfaadt's different, man. It's just he's tough to read because his underlying numbers are very, very good.
Yeah.
His overlying are not great. So it's like, what's going to happen here? How long can that go? But I really like, for my dog of the day, I really, really, really like the Cardinals today. I hate Michaelis. Don't get me wrong. I hate him. Dude is just a walking billboard of getting power against you, hits against you. But the Cardinals are a constructed team to hit lefties, and Christopher Sanchez allows a ton of power. I talked about this on the last time he pitched, and we had the show. I took the over in that game for the specific reason is he does give up a ton of power to righties. That's pretty much all they have. Nolan Gorman's on the IL, bro. So now you're going to get even more righties in this lineup, right? Probably Luken Baker, who rakes lefties, who's just coming up and just smashing. Got Contreras, obviously, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Edmund from the right side at the top, right? Carlson on the right side. You got Jordan Walker. Like, this is just – they are meant to beat lefties. And you're giving me plus 120. I know it Michaelis blows, but this park plays up power, and – You're giving me a guy here who struggles with power. So I really like the Cardinals today at that price, and definitely a spot I want to take.
Yeah, when I was deciding my plays for today, first 5 over 5 was the play that got left out. It would be like my third choice if we had to strike one of mine. So I love that spot. Obviously, I think offense, I wasn't necessarily – I did the same thing you did, and then I saw Michaelis, and I was like, no, I'm not going to back that side. Like, I really don't want to put my money there when there's so many different Phillies in this lineup that I know can beat him, right? So it's one of those where I look to the over, but I like that look. I think we see offense from both sides in this one.
Beautiful. Well, let's get it moving. We'll get it rolling here, guys. We got 10 of you guys in here first 10 minutes. Hit that like button if you could. I got to go and make sure I retweet your tweet there, and we'll get it rolling here. But I'll kick it over to you to start us off in that game I just mentioned.
Yep, we're starting out with a good old hit parlay, doing a lot of total bases recently, a lot of other stuff. We got Ryan McMahon to record a hit, Bryce Harper to record a hit, minus 108. Over on FanDuel, and I believe Bet Rivers has like the same price as well. Only place you can't get it is DraftKings because Harper is 1.5 hits over there. But McMahon is obviously the easier leg in this one, down to pretty much minus 180 for a hit on most sports books. I think they're kind of disrespecting him a little bit. I know the home road splits are obviously not good whatsoever for everyone on this Rockies team, right? So it's one of those situations where whenever you get them in these less beneficial spots, the pricing is pretty terrible. But I do like this matchup against Irvin. If there's one thing we know McMahon does, it's he rakes against lefties. That's his only job in the lineup pretty much at this point, right? And what we like right here is Irvin, he's an interesting pitcher, right? I don't think he's a terrible pitcher, but he's also someone that I'm perfectly fine. And in fact, I target for these hit parlays because he's the kind of guy that, he does do a pretty good job of limiting hard contact, especially in this new ballpark where the dimensions moved it back a little bit. It's not quite as easy over there anymore. He still gives up a lot of soft contact, right? When you look at the Baseball Savant page, I mean, really bad, 9th percentile K rate, bottom 10 percentile in expected batting average, expected slugging. Where he really excels is 70th percentile in terms of limiting hard contact, right? And McMahon is a guy that I do normally go for kind of a home run or a double kind of play. That's normally in cores, though. For right now, we're just kind of trusting him to get on base, and the recent form is actually pretty good. Over this number in 8 of his last 10, and then 17 of his last 24 coming in. So that's home and away. We got a decent amount of consistency in here. The bottom line is I think this should probably be like minus 240, minus 250 against a guy like Irvin. We're getting at minus 180. I think that's a really good price to me. I think there's enough value to make it worth it. But you guys know we're not out here with the 180s anymore. Harper, multi-hit games in 3 of his last 5 coming in, 3 straight right here. 4 of his last 5 and 3 straight coming in right here. Got the recent form. He's the kind of guy I love targeting is Michaelis because he'll put the ball anywhere, right? We know we're going to get those at-bats in the zone. You kind of touched on it a minute ago, but there's plenty of offensive potential in this one. And then obviously the great history against him, has a couple bombs and over 400 against him in their past matchups. I just love Harper tonight. I think he gets on base. I would not be surprised if both of these guys homered tonight, but I do like the hit parlay at minus 108.
Beautiful. I am going to start it off with my plus money spot here. And I'm rolling with probably the hottest hitter in baseball over the last week, man. My boy Anthony Santander. He's on my fantasy team right now. He's one of the guys I was mentioning that's just everybody's on my team right now is just hitting bombs. They haven't hit bombs all year, and now they're deciding, hey, let's show up a little bit. Santander, obviously 3 homers in the last 2 games. Looked fantastic again yesterday. Hit one off of Barrios and off of 2 bullpen arms too, which is very nice that we like to see. That he's not, fading as the game goes on. Both of those home runs further on into the baseball game too. So it doesn't matter if it's just a relief guy. I know a lot of guys worry about that when there's bullpen games and stuff like that, where I don't expect Freeland to go very far in this game. But one thing I do like is this dude cannot get righties out, bro. He just can't get righties out. He's very good against lefties, 363 slug. which is very good, 250 batting average. But 539 slug and a 310 batting average to righty so far this year. Second half of the season, he has gotten worse with a 6.23 ERA, 588 slug over his last 26 innings, spanning the whole time here, and only a couple of those in Coors, right? So, I mean, this is not a huge, super downgrade in park either. Santander goes oppo, he pulls the ball. It doesn't matter. This guy's been able to hit power both ways. I know you like to look at the pitch type and all that stuff. I mean, you look at those, he smashes those too, right? I mean, Freeland is going to be throwing sinker slider for about 53, 54, and up to 70 with the four seam and curveball at a 17%. You go here, dude, he smashes every single one of those. 537 slug against the four seam, 557 slug against the slider, right? You go to the sinker, 479 slug, 333 batting average, 350 against the curveball, 625 slug. Like those are the best pitches. Like you go up and down, like changeup, not his best pitch, not throwing it much, right? I mean, it's just, I really like this matchup for Santander, man. He is one of the streakiest hitters in baseball. I have him in fantasy. I've had him in fantasy the last 3 years. There's weeks where this dude will just carry my team, and then there's weeks where he's just the worst hitter you have ever seen, right? Bullpen for Colorado sucks. You got Santander getting at least 2 ABs, I'm hoping, from Kyle Freeland here. And he's sitting in the middle of this lineup. You got Mountcastle around him who can drive him in if he finds his way on base. You got Rutschman leading off, who's been just an on-base machine. Same thing with Gunnar Henderson, the ability for him to steal bases and have him in scoring position. This Orioles team is very fun to watch. 2-game lead in their division. Got to win. These are the games you have to take, and I expect them to put up a pretty big number today. Probably going to be my team that I picked to lead in runs scored for the whole entire slate. I would take the Orioles here in this matchup against Freeland.
Yeah, no, I like this spot a lot, obviously. I think the one thing I have to ask you, I guess, is why did you choose hits, runs, RBIs over total bases? Because I completely agree with everything you said right there. I'm just kind of curious.
I think you could walk. I've seen how many Rockies games where they just fucking walk dudes. That and obviously how many guys are going to be on base in this game where we could get those sack flies. Obviously don't count for those. But I think you could get this on an RBI single, 2 RBI single, right? Guys on second and third finds his way in there. I don't do total bases as much. I don't know if you've noticed. I rarely do total bases. I just think that these give me a better opportunity. And if I took total bases, I don't even think it's plus money either. So 2.5 doesn't even scare me off. Half of the team is 2.5. I looked at it. Rutschman's 2.5. I think Mountcastle's 2.5. I think then they just juiced Gunnar Henderson to like minus 160 at 1.5. So it's just they're expecting runs. I'm expecting runs. And obviously they get up early in this game, and the bullpen for the Orioles bring out the hammers. This could just get super ugly, and we get to see the bad bullpen for the Rockies, which is already bad for the good guys. So really like this spot for them. Alrighty. Let's take a look at the chat. Plus money bot. What's up, fellas? Let's get it. Yes, let's do it. We got Terrence in here as well. If you guys got questions, drop them in the chat. We will keep it moving on to the Nationals.
Yep, I'm going over to my guy, Keibert Ruiz, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 110. We've talked a lot about guys like Lane Thomas this year and some of the other guys that have these awesome lefty splits, but it's interesting. Keibert's hitting 237 against righties and 310 against lefties, and that split's been like that most of the season. It's interesting. Normally we talk about guys like that more heavily in these kind of situations, but hits, runs, RBIs for Keibert has been one of my favorite bets ever since he's been absolutely killing it since the All-Star break, right? 335 average since then, absolutely cruising as a contact hitter. If you go over to Baseball Savant, you'll see 90th percentile XBA, which is obviously a great sign, 99th percentile expected K rate right here. He's not striking out at all. He's making contact with everything. And the thing I've noticed from watching the Nationals a lot is what they try to do is they really try to crowd him, right? These lefties that he faces right here, they love hitting him with those kind of inside cutters, those inside sinkers, those inside fastballs. And that's what I've noticed Ruiz is really great at, fighting those off for singles. I think anyone that's a great, contact hitter has to be right here. But when we look at Garrett's, pitch splits right here, right? He's throwing the four-seamer, he's throwing the cutter, and he's throwing the slider. And most of Keibert's production this year against lefties is coming from that fastball slider combination, hitting over 300 against the lefty fastball. we're talking about a small sample so far, but he's hitting 750 against the lefty cutter on the season so far. And then we got a nice 298 XBA against the lefty slider as well. I like the pitch splits matchup. I like that he's sitting fourth in the order. We talked about this a couple times when I've talked about Kaber. He's obviously trending upwards since the All-Star break, and they noticed, right? They put him in the cleanup spot. That is so huge. Hitting in that 4, 5, 6 range is obviously great for this bet because you have so many great hitters in front of you and behind you. We know how good the Nationals are against lefties. Unfortunately, having Stone Garrett behind him would have been nice right here. He's unfortunately out for the season right there, but I still think there's enough weapons in this lineup for Ruiz to get the job done right here. Garrett, obviously, we've talked about him a couple of times. Not a pitcher, I'm looking to fade or anything like that, but also not someone I'm necessarily looking to avoid, especially with the Nationals lineup that's great against lefties. I think Kaber keeps it going today, and I think minus 110 is a very fair price right here.
Perfect. A guy that's been a mainstay for you, and that's what I'm going with one of my guys. I'm going back to my boy Kodai Senga. Under 2.5 earned runs. This is on DraftKings right now. I just don't get it. I truly don't get it. Why they continue to just feed me Kodai Senga at 2.5, right? I guess he's given it up in 2 of his last 4, but that was against a absolute red hot Kansas City team for like that 2-week period where they were like the best hitting team in baseball. He was right in the middle of that. Then you go destroyed the Cardinals. The other loss was against the Braves, right? That's not even like they're on another planet right now. You go to the start here of the All-Star break here. We go to July. You start those. He gave up 5 earned runs in 23 innings in July against Boston, Dodgers, in Arizona, right? I mean, these are some good starts, really good starts. Just does not give up power, right, at all. He's given up 3 home runs since July 5th. 3. He's given up 3 homers. This dude has been absolutely on one, guys. I don't know why more people aren't talking about him. I think it's just because the Mets suck. But we look at him home road, right? This guy has an opposing batting average at home at 184 for the full season. That is absurd. 2.63 ERA at home. Obviously, strikeout rate is phenomenal. 84 Ks in 68 innings. Only 5 home runs allowed in those. Put that in perspective, he's given up 7 of them on the road in 5 less innings, right? That's how good he's been at home. Now let's go to this Angels team. Let's go I'll go 15 days because that's usually my benchmark is usually 15 or 30. This is the worst last OPS team in MLB in the last 15 days. The Los Angeles Angels, and it's not even close. 615 OPS over the last 15 days. Oh, dude, the Blue Jays are second worst at 661, right? Let's go up to the freaking Oakland A's, bro. Let's go find the A's. I'm trying to go find them. The A's are 18th. They're 100 points better in the last 2 weeks. 100 points better than this Angels team. I can't even say it because it just doesn't sound right? You got no Trout. I mean, Ohtani's probably playing, but it doesn't matter. You got the ghost fork, baby. This guy gets lefties out at a crazy clip because that pitch is so filthy. 192 batting average to lefties this year. That's absurd, right? 227 to righties. A 259 slug to lefties. That is crazy. This dude is not giving up any power to lefties. You look at this team that we're going to be facing here. I'm only really worried about Ohtani, right? You got Rengifo at the top. Moniak for a couple weeks was good. He's terrible again. I mean, oh my God. You're going to see so many lefties in this lineup. Senga is getting that ladder today. Dude, he is going to destroy these guys. Give me the alt minus 2.5 first 5 for the Orioles. Senga 12 Ks, bro. Make me a millionaire.
Oof. When I saw the 2.5 number flash on the screen, I instantly, are they playing the Braves? Are they playing the Rangers? I remember playing this at 1.5 earlier in the year. And now we get, like you said, I mean, you put it, I was just going to say one of the worst offenses in the league. You actually brought the receipts, right? You put the numbers. I mean, when you're that much worse than the Athletics right now, you got to do some pretty serious introspection. And like you said, now we have an injured Ohtani who is their whole offense, right? He is their offense. Like you said, Trout was back for one game and is gone again. Moniak, I mean, we bet him a couple times during that stretch. I thought he was awesome. I thought he figured out. We quickly realized the same, regression back to the mean, striking out all the time. This is an ugly lineup right now. Frankly, it's probably a pretty depressed locker room right now. I bet the vibes are not high whatsoever over there. I love this spot. I think Senga's going to crush these guys.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for that Senga action here. Obviously, love to bet this guy, even when I don't bet on him. He's just a fun guy to watch. Dude, that ghost fork is unreal, unhittable right now, dude. Under 200 to lefties with that slugging under 250. That's insanity. That is insanity. It might be the lowest I've ever seen for a right against lefties there. It might be one of the lowest I've ever seen. So let's do a recap here. Yeah, dude, fuck. Well, I'm not going to post anything, I guess, for a long shot because Kodai Senga about to put a fucking hurting on. It's because they didn't list a starting pitcher yet, which is weird because a lot of places are saying Anderson, but Anderson also was the guy who had to come and pitch for Ohtani when he tore his UCL. He was the guy who got brought in quick and through. So I would assume it's Pablo Sandoval today. I know a lot of places are saying Anderson, but I would assume Sandoval because I do remember watching that game when it happened. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's bad. And then I just saw Tyler Anderson get ran into the game and have to throw on quick notice there. So I would assume that comes out pretty soon. All right, let's recap here, Stu.
Sounds good. We're going Ryan McMahon and Bryce Harper to both record a hit. That is minus 108. Then we went over to my guy, Keibert Ruiz of the Washington Nationals, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, minus 110.
Beautiful. And I will be on Anthony Santander over 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs at plus 120 to go along with Kodai Senga under 2.5 earned runs at minus 130. This will be my long shot when it happens. I will be all over that. Give me Ryan McMahon can have a slap hit over third base. I won a 14K game from Cole Irvin, 7 innings. Kodai Senga, 15. And like I said, we'll be a millionaire by tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that combo. I'll definitely be running that Senga strikeout ladder with you. And hey, I'm a little surprised too that under 2.5 is only 1 unit. That might get a little bit more for me over here. That's all I'm saying.
I might find a hammer. I don't know. But yeah, do you have a long shot, or I just kind of told I don't have one.
I have 1 home run bet locked in. I have Mookie Betts plus 340 to hit a home run. I mean, I don't feel like we have to explain this that much, but it's one of those situations where, right, the hard hit rate is trending up. We get a matchup right here against Crawford, who has been allowing more fly balls over his last 3 starts, and that's against some pretty lackluster lineups as well. We did have the Yankees in there, but if you look at it's the Tigers and I believe the Rockies outside of Coors that both homered against him in back-to-back outings right here. Nothing against Crawford, solid pitcher, but we're just seeing the fly ball rate start to go up, and Mookie Betts is not the guy you want to face right there. Anytime I can get Mookie over 300, it's a pretty easy click. Once we get up to 340 and this kind of matchup, I'm definitely there. I like Mookie Betts to go yard tonight.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Like I said, I already kind of told you guys what I'll be doing, but it's not out yet. Want to obviously ride the Kodai Senga train there. Stu, what do you got for the people here? I got my rant coming here shortly, and it's going to be a bad one. So hopefully you're ready for a golf rant.
Oh, I was hoping we'd get a best ball rant today.
Oh, my best ball rant is going to be positive after this morning, bro. That positive after this morning, bro. I feel good about that one.
Yeah, no, as for me, I mean, obviously I'll have probably another play or two over on Twitter by the end of the day. Make sure you're following over there. We've having a lot of good luck with these Friday long shots as well. I've been running around Robin on these days, so I'll definitely be going back to that as well. So make sure you're following on Twitter to see all that. As for the Discord, make sure to join as well. Got a lot of great plays in there, completely free, a lot of great minds giving great spots. So make sure to, keep up with all the plays. And yeah, we're right around the corner from football, baby. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, be on the lookout. We might be doing that best ball futures props show next week. I think that'll be a good time to do it. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm just watching Sung J M try to golf. This boy is fucking trash, dude. Why is this guy? Dude, this is a no-cut event. They should cut him. That's how bad he is right now, bro. Like, Tell me you're a good ball striker and you can't even putt, dude. Like, this guy's supposed to be a top 20 putter. This guy can't even make it from 4 feet. Just if it's a non-cut event and you're that shitty, they should just take you off, give you $50 and say thank you for coming. You can go home now, because this guy should not be getting $500K down in East Lake for performing like this, dude. Even Rory McIlroy, the guy I don't like, had a hurt back, and this dude at least goes even, right? Then you got Sungjae. He's already +2 through 4 holes. Now he's going to a par 5, probably going to lose it in the woods. Go +12. Just cut the guy. Just cut him. He'll be fine. Just absolutely terrible, dude. He's fucking garbage.
See, this is what life looks like when you're a golf DJ now. I've moved away. I'm living at peace right now. I'm calm. It's a nice Friday morning. I almost said the wrong day again. I almost said Monday morning. And I'm just calm right here. I don't have any sweat. I can.
Oh, I didn't even bet on him. That's the worst part. I don't even bet on him. I'm not even betting on him. He's just that shitty, dude.
Really?
I have bet on him in the past. I don't even have money on this guy, and he's still this shitty. I'm not even betting golf this week because there's only 25 guys.
Okay.
But he's just that shitty that he deserves to get chirped being this bad in a non-cut event. Dude, just fake a back injury like Hideki and get out of here, bro.
Wow, I've never heard that from you before. Hating on a player you didn't even bet on. This is just
I have no
rage coming out.
I have no money on this golf, bro. None.
Hey, I respect it then. I respect it. I didn't know. I thought you were fully in on Sungjae this week, and that's where this anger was coming from. This is just from the heart.
No, this has been building up. I haven't got to rant on him because I've been just ranting on how much I like Victor Hovland lately. I did have him to win last week, which was awesome. I got him 15-1 live, bro. So yeah, I know. Oh, that's a shitty bet, bro. That sucks. I'm sorry, Terrence. Taylor Moore is just trash too. So
how did you get in this event?
dude, and he wasn't even the last guy to qualify. So I digress. We'll not be talking about that, but obviously the best ball lineup I sent you probably will make me a milli. And I'm excited for that one, man. That one I am. It's tough to say that I did have a mini stack of the Bears in there. Was my main core. It's tough. I don't usually draft many Bears, man. But they're going to be a focal point on this one. So we'll see how that goes.
I got plenty of Fields teams. He's one of my most owned quarterbacks.
That's the only one I have with him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The problem is you can't stack DJ Moore. It's impossible to pick them both unless you have back-to-back picks and you reach on both of them. So you just can't stack them. So you're forced to go fucking Mooney, who probably sucks, but we don't know for sure. I have a lot of Mooney because I hope he doesn't suck, right? And then Cole Kmet, who I got to draft.
Instead of Kmet, I've been going Claypool.
Yeah, maybe I should do that more. I don't know. It's just Kmet gives you a safe 5 points every week, which isn't great. But if I'm running a lot of high variance tight ends, sometimes you just need that 5-point baseline. So I try to do that there. But yeah, it's a weird thing. But hey, if you want to hear more about this, right away from football, let us know in the comments if you want some best ball stuff. Right now, I think the plan next Wednesday, we're going to have a picks, props, that kind of show. But if you do want best ball stuff or if you want to draft with us, I've already done a couple of drafts with the guys in the Discord. Let me know. I'm going full DGen right now, and I think we'd both be willing to, have a pass the prop, best ball kind of tournament. That would be fun. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We're definitely game.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see if you can get you back on DK and get your license all the way through and shit. See you have to log in at the same time in the same contest within a minute and see if we get in the same one. But appreciate you guys for popping in. Still 20 of you guys with us 35 minutes later. Hoping we stay hot. We've been doing pretty well. Even our losses are 0.1s, which is obviously what we want, right? Not a huge bankroll killer. So we've been having our sweeps, but even our bad days are the ones that are kind of breaking us even, getting ready for another one of those sweeps. So thank you guys so much. Again, if you have any questions, hit us in the DMs. Obviously, they're always open over on Twitter. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and we'll see you on Monday for another round of MLB Pass the Prop.